Michaela, are you still at work? There's something I wanted to speak about with you.
Hey, yeah, I'm still at work right now. What's up? I'll be off in a few minutes. I was just gonna head straight home afterward, though.
Perfect. Thank goodness I caught you just before you left. I need you to stay at work tonight. Natalie's having some trouble with her project right now. Could you head over and give her a hand?
Why would I need to go help Natalie? She's a big girl. I'm sure she can take care of it herself.
Well, actually, she has a mixer tonight. You know how she's been down since she broke up with her ex. This is her chance to get back in there and meet someone. She was really looking forward to it, but the work kept piling up. She won't be able to finish in time at this rate. So, could you please help your sister out and take over her shift?
That's crazy, Mom. Why do I have to help her? First of all, I'd understand if she needed help to finish, but if she's just skipping work to go to a mixer, no thank you.
Michaela, you're her older sister. You're supposed to be there for her when she needs help. This is one of those times. She said today's really important. This mixer could be the one to change her life. She could really meet the one tonight. There will be a lot of high-profile single men there tonight. Doctors, lawyers, CEOs, you name it, and they'll probably be there.
Let's just put the mixer aside for now. Realistically, I have no idea about Natalie's job. I couldn't help even if I wanted to. Second of all, I don't want to help, especially if it's just for some stupid mixer. I shouldn't have to give up my night for her to go gallivanting around town.
You work at the same company, don't you? Can't you just look up what she's working on and help her out? She really needs all the support she can get right now. Imagine if she hit things off with one of those rich guys. She'd be set for life.
Our departments are completely different, Mother. There's nothing I can do.
Stop being so stubborn and help your sister out. Just take her place for now. You're her sister, for goodness sake, Michaela.
Look, I'm trying to be reasonable. I said I could help if I could, but I just can't waltz into her department and do her work. I'd get in trouble. So don't try to push all that big sister mumbo-jumbo onto me. She should have thought about the mixer ahead of time and managed her work better.
You're so annoying. I didn't raise you to make a ruckus out of every little thing. I can't believe you're my daughter. I'm so disappointed in you. You're useless. I thought if you could at least help your sister, you'd be less of a disappointment. Yet here you are, avoiding any responsibility as my daughter and as a big sister.
She isn't my responsibility. I've done plenty for her already.
You're just jealous because your sister is prettier than you. An ugly duckling like you would never understand. I really thought you'd finally grow up and get over your jealousy and help your sister.
Fine. Just this once, Mother. I'll help her out.
Great. I'm glad you've finally seen the light. I'll let Natalie know, so just help her out.
Kayla! I just heard from Mom. Thanks for helping with my work. I think I'll be able to make the mixer now. You don't know how much this means to me. It's all thanks to my big sister.
Yeah, right. I shouldn't have to do your work in the first place. Do you even understand how much trouble you put me through? Just for some stupid mixer?
I'm really grateful. I mean it. Don't be so uptight. You should be happy to help your little sister out. It wasn't even that much extra work, right? I really did my best before I had to leave. I tried to lessen your work as much as I could.
You call all that work I had to do doing your best? I don't even see where you did anything. Thanks to you, it took me over 3 hours to get everything done. I just finished, for God's sake.
Did it really take you that long? I swear I did my best to do as much as I possibly could.
Given how much work I had to do, are you even doing your work? I looked through all the work on your desk and computer, but all I could find were fashion magazines and makeup left all over the place. As your sister, I really worry if you're properly doing your job. What'll you do if they find out you've been slacking off this entire time?
I think we have different definitions of what our jobs are. Yours is to sit at that tiny desk of yours and slave your life away. My job is to look as cute as possible. I do my best every day to make sure I look as cute as possible. You just don't understand the lengths I go through to look this beautiful. It's a sin. Everyone is so stressed with work they have to do. It's suffocating. I help alleviate that stress with my beauty. Just looking at me takes years of stress off of their shoulders. See, that's my job, so I work hard, thank you.
Are you being serious right now? You've got to be kidding me. You're supposed to be doing all this paperwork and making sure the proposals move ahead as scheduled. Your laziness causes trouble for everyone else around you. Everyone has to pick up your slack. It's not even that much work, yet somehow you've managed to build up this huge pile of work.
There's no way I can do paperwork. It's so tedious. It doesn't fit someone as pretty as me. That's for all the Uggs. If I type on the keyboard, I'll damage my nails. Who'll take responsibility if one of them falls off? Do you know how much it costs to get these?
How have you not been fired yet? You're just sitting around all day doing nothing. You need to grow up already.
Of course I still do other work. I smile while I talk with everyone and even pass out coffee to everyone. It's back-breaking work, really. They should pay me more. You should see how happy everyone is to have such a cute girl like me around.
That doesn't excuse the fact that you aren't doing any real work. You're bringing down the department.
Whatever. No one's complaining but you. Anyways, listen, you'll never guess what happened. So you know I went to the mixer, right? Well, it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Do you know the president of our company? Well, you never would have guessed it, but he was there, and we hit it off really well. Long story short, I think we have something special between us. Thank God I wasn't late. Who knows what kind of sleaze woman could have put her hands on him?
Wait, you actually met the president there. Are you sure you weren't mistaken?
My looks worked like a charm. We've already exchanged our Snapchats and numbers. I'm sure you'll be texting me any minute now, ready to invite me out on a date. I can't wait. This is so exciting. He better watch out. I'm out for blood. I'm gonna make him fall so madly in love with me, we'll be married in no time.
Wait, hold on. I need you to slow down. This doesn't make any sense at all. So you're saying at the mixer you just went to, you met our boss, the president of our company there. Not only that, but you got his number. Our company has connections all over the country and over the world. Why in the world would our president go to some mixer?
I know it's hard to believe, but it's all true. I made sure of it after I followed him on Snapchat. His profile and even his business card were legit. It's him 100%. This is actually the first time I've ever seen his face, but he's not bad. He's quite the looker. I wouldn't mind having him as my husband. Oh, can you imagine me married to the CEO? I'll have a ring on my finger before the end of the year, just you watch.
Don't you think you're getting a little ahead of yourself? You've only just met.
Oh, you know what? If he and I get married, that means I'll be the boss's wife. Once we're married, I'll be sure to have him give you a promotion. It's the least I could do, really. You were never the looker. You've never even had a boyfriend, right? If you don't have the looks to snag yourself a man, you at least need to have money. That way you can at least find some tiny speck of happiness in your pathetic life.
Huh, shows what you know. You don't know anything. Even I have someone that will marry me. How about them apples?
You can't be serious. Who would want to marry someone as ugly as you?
Go ahead and laugh if you want, but it's true. I didn't want to bring it up like this, but I'm actually already engaged. Before all of this drama, I was thinking about bringing him over to introduce him to the family.
If you're that serious about it, I guess it must be true. If he wants to marry someone like you, I bet he's just as ugly. Ugh. You two must be the perfect match. The two ugly ducklings.
Don't you dare insult my fiance like that.
Oh, what are you gonna do? I better hurry and get married. I can't lose to an uggo like you. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna hurry up and set up a date with the boss and speed things up.
Mother, where are you? I've been trying to contact you for nearly 20 minutes now. You're late for our dinner date. You were supposed to be here 30 minutes ago.
Dinner date? Were we supposed to have one tonight? I don't remember planning anything with you, though. Are you sure you didn't make a mistake?
You and Dad were supposed to meet my fiance today. How could you forget something so important? This is so embarrassing. What will Clark think?
Oh, good heavens, was that today? Oh, silly me. How could I forget? I must have slipped my mind.
Yes, Mother. This was an important dinner. I told you weeks ago so that you could keep your schedule clear. I even checked in with you last week. I was gonna introduce you to him for the first time over dinner. Clark was being a gentleman. He's already my fiance, so we wanted to greet you both and get your blessing for our wedding. What's the point of going through all the trouble of telling you early if you're just going to forget?
Oh, now I remember, that's right. I knew there was something today, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. I completely forgot. Oh well, anyways, it's not like it's that important. I don't really mind if we meet before the wedding, so it's fine. I already told you before you can do whatever you want, it doesn't matter to us.
And I wanted to have you meet him, Mother. You even agreed. If you weren't gonna come, you should have refused in the first place. Look, it's fine. I'll apologize to Clark, so can you just come to the restaurant and bring Dad?
Oh, well, that's a bit of a pickle. It looks like I double booked tonight. I'm actually eating together with Natalie and her boyfriend right now, so I don't think I can come. You don't mind, do you?
Natalie again? Not to mention she's with her boyfriend? You should be meeting Clark right now. How inconsiderate can you be, Mother?
Well, how could I refuse? They just became official. He's the president of your company. It'd be rude of me to refuse. Plus, he offered to take us out to an expensive restaurant. I can't turn that down. God knows the last time your father took me out to a fancy dinner.
So, you're choosing to have dinner with Natalie and her boyfriend because you think him being the president is better than my fiancé.
I wasn't choosing between you two. I told you I simply forgot about her dinner. Since her boyfriend invited me out, it would be rude to refuse. The dinner with your fiancé just wasn't important enough for me to remember.
I'm your daughter too, you know. You're the one who gave birth to me and raised me. You should take some responsibility. As my mother, you should feel obligated to meet the man I'm going to marry, don't you think so? From the sound of things, I bet you didn't forget. I bet you were invited to Natalie's dinner and you decided that between the two of us, Natalie was more important. Am I wrong?
It was an honest-to-God mistake, I'm telling you, dear. It's just so easy for me to forget about the things I don't care about.
So you don't even care about one of your only two daughters getting married, is that right? Just because I'm not as pretty as Natalie doesn't give you the right to treat me like this. I deserve some respect as your daughter and as a woman. I did my best to give you the benefit of the doubt since you're my mother, but this was the last straw. I just can't deal with you any longer. I hate all of you, Father, and especially Natalie. None of you deserves to be called family.
I don't have any interest in you anymore. My ugly daughter must definitely be marrying someone not even worth meeting. There's no need for us to meet. What would be the value of that? Is he gonna take me out to an expensive dinner? No, I didn't think so. Do whatever you want. Isn't that even better for you? You don't have to be considerate of your family. You're free. Just get married and you can live your own life.
You're going to regret it. You really don't know who my fiancé is, do you?
Why would I? You've never mentioned his name and we've never met.
I'm guessing you didn't even bother looking at the Instagram profile I sent you?
Oh, now that I think about it, I do remember you sending me a link a while ago. I thought it was too much of a bother, so I never probably looked at it. I guess that's what you young people are using nowadays, huh? Last time it was Facebook and now it's Instagram. It's all a big hassle.
Well, bother or not, I took the time to make one for you since I was nervous about our first meeting. There's just no end to your thoughtlessness, is there? I assume you still have no interest in my marriage to your daughter.
Huh? My daughter? Our first meeting? What are you talking about?
Excuse my rudeness and for my late introduction. I would have liked to meet you in person, but it seems you had a prior engagement and forgot about our dinner date. I'm Michaela's fiancé, Clark, It is a pleasure to speak with you finally.
Oh my, such a sudden introduction. I wasn't prepared for that. I can assume you're my daughter's fiance, right? I really need to thank you. I never thought anyone would ever want that ugly daughter of mine, huh? I hope you take good care of her.
It's quite the opposite, rather. Michaela is the one who has been taking care of me. You've raised quite the daughter. She really is wonderful. Before we continue, I'd like to confirm just one thing with you, if you'd please. I assume from how you were just speaking with your daughter, you have no problem with our plans to marry, am I correct?
Yes, of course. I've already told that daughter of mine she can do whatever she wants. You're more than welcome to marry her if you want to. I'm sure she'll be happy with a low-class man like you. You two will surely enjoy each other's company.
Thank you very much for your blessing. I'm overjoyed that we can go ahead with our marriage. I'll do everything in my power to give your daughter the happiness that she deserves. As the president of NTech, I'll make sure she will live with all the luxuries that I can provide. I vow to never let her be in need of anything ever again. I'm gonna make her the happiest woman in the world.
Wait, you can't mean... You're the president of NTech.
Yes, ma'am. I'm still inexperienced, but I took over the position last year. I'm not as great as the previous president. I'm fairly low class, if I do say so myself. However, as someone who came from a low-class family, I'm excited to bring some new direction to the company. It's an honor to have your daughter by my side through all of this as we expand worldwide.
The world is spinning. This is crazy. So you're really the president of NTech right now. The NTech that pretty much owns the majority of the internet. The same NTech that Michaela and Natalie are working for.
Yes, that's right. I'm glad that you've heard of our company. We've been worried about reaching the older generation recently. I'm glad to see our work is paying off.
That can't be right. There has to be some sort of mistake, or one of you is lying. I'm together with Natalie, and her boyfriend says he's the president of the company.
Well, ma'am, I hate to break it to you, but that man is surely a fake. I'm the one and only genuine Clark Abel. Actually, I do remember meeting someone with the exact same name earlier this year. We both work for NTech, but he's not the president.
You've got to be kidding me. I need to get to the bottom of this right now.
It sounds like you've got your hands full on your end. It was a pleasure to meet you, and I thank you for your blessing. Now, if you'll excuse us, we'll be enjoying the rest of our dinner. Since you and your husband were not able to make it tonight, I've invited my parents instead. I hope you don't mind. Please enjoy the rest of your dinner with that fake president as well. I hope he at least told some convincing lies.
Don't try to confuse us. That daughter of mine must have put you up to this, didn't she? Don't try to fool me, you fake. There's no way that ugly daughter of mine could have snagged herself the president of a company.
How uncouth. I don't mind if you badmouth me, but you should show some respect to your daughter, my fiancée. I think we'll find out soon enough which one of us is the fake and which one of us is the real deal. I'm grateful that you've given us your blessing. It's the least you could do as a mother. Now, you've taken up enough of our time. We'll be enjoying our dinner now.
Give back my boyfriend! You don't deserve him! The real Clark is my boyfriend, not yours. And a girl like you shouldn't be with a high-class man like him. You can go ahead and have that fake I met. He's all yours.
What would be the point of that? He's my fiancé, not yours. I don't see a ring on your finger. So it looks like you finally figured out the truth, huh? I tried to warn you earlier, but you wouldn't listen.
After a little talk with Mother, we immediately grilled him about being the president. He couldn't fake it any longer and confessed to all of it. Just like your fiancé said, that man pretending to be the president was an imposter. Your fiancé is the real Clark Abel. It was all that stupid mixer. They were all a bunch of liars.
Oh my gosh, every one of them? Well, that's a surprise indeed.
Not a single one was a doctor or a lawyer. Every one of those liars was living paycheck to paycheck. They didn't even have stable jobs, can you believe it? Those little creeps all conspired together just so they could have a mixer with some cute girls.
That's no good at all. How could they do that? Those aren't the type of men you want to be dating.
It's the worst. You got my hopes up for nothing. Do you know how excited I was? I was gonna be rich. I really thought I'd hit the jackpot. I was gonna be living the life. He fooled me with his good looks. No one that good looking should be so poor. They're supposed to be rich.
Even if he wasn't the president of our company, he was still handsome, was he not? That's something.
It doesn't matter how handsome he is if he doesn't have any money. How would we plan for a future like that? It's not fair. Hurry up and hand over your fiance. Gimme. There's no way he'd prefer someone like you over me. I'm in a different league than you. Your looks can't compare to my beauty. He'll definitely choose me over you.
Clark here. I think I have something to say on that matter. I'm sorry to say this, but it's already been decided. I want to marry Michaela. Besides, I could never marry someone like you. I respect people who work hard no matter what position they're in. Someone like you who avoids their work and passes it off onto others is very unappealing to me.
Clark, is that you? The president of the company?
Yes, it's me. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Clark, Michaela's fiance. Despite how things have turned out and your attitude towards your sister, you'll soon be my sister-in-law, and I hope that we can get along. Unfortunately, because your family decided to be so rude as to forget about the dinner with me tonight, you've missed out on the announcement. Your sister and I have already decided to move ahead with the marriage. It'll be next month.
President, I didn't mean to be so rude. If I'd known about the dinner, I would have come. Anyways, don't be so hasty. You shouldn't rush into marriage. Do you think you should reconsider who exactly you'll be marrying? I know we've never met before, but I'm a million times better than that sister of mine. You'd be much better off marrying me. I've been popular since high school. I've never been without a boyfriend. That's just how beautiful I am. All the boys fawn over me. I'm sure you'd feel the same once we meet.
Another thing to add, besides lazy woman, I especially don't like women who try to make a fool of others. Not only that, you base the entirety of your self-worth on your looks. Only foolish women have that sort of mindset.
What do you mean by that?
I've had my fair share of shallow women like you in the past, and I've moved on from that phase of my life. I need someone with more than just looks. That's what I like about your sister. She has the wisdom and intellect that comes with age. I've already heard plenty about you from your sister and from your co-workers. Or did you forget that I'm the president? After my looking over your work, depending on the results, I may have to give you a disciplinary action. I hope you're prepared. Although you're my fiancé's sister, I can't overlook the incompetence of my employees.
Wait, why are you talking about disciplinary actions? I know I'm shallow, but I'm still a good woman. Why won't you just take me instead of my sister? It's always worked before.
I've told you before, I'm conducting a performance review of your work. From what I've gathered, you've pushed your work onto others on a daily basis. The only thing that I've found you to be the least bit competent at is getting coffee for everyone. However, I don't need someone who can only get coffee at my company. I expect more from my employees. I refuse to pay people to do nothing.
Even if it's just coffee, everyone is happy when I bring it to them. I'm valuable to the team to boost morale, don't you think?
So, you think just because you're cute and a good conversationalist, I should keep you around? What about the work you aren't doing? I hate to break it to you, but your team doesn't seem to share the same sentiment as you. I recently received a complaint from your manager the other day. They no longer wish for you to be on the team. They've requested that I move you to another department.
What? Those backstabbers? They were happy enough to flirt with me, and this is the thanks I get? What did they write? I demand to know. This has to be a misunderstanding. This is unbelievable. I've never talked behind their backs. You should do something about them. They're the ones creating a hostile environment with all this office drama.
I don't know how many times you need me to repeat myself, but I loathe those who can't do their jobs. I especially hate your type. You get through life by pushing your work onto others while you read magazines and laze about all day. I would never marry someone like that, let alone have them as my employee. With that naive thinking of yours, I think you'll be shocked to learn that no business wants an employee like that.
Don't get carried away just because you're the president. If you won't marry me, I'm sure someone else will. You'll see. There are presidents of other companies that would give anything to marry me. I can captivate any man. You'll regret turning me down after you marry that ugly sister of mine.
That's great for you. Good luck finding another president to marry. If it's as you say, you should find a man without any trouble. Well, if I end up firing you, you'll have more than enough time to go to as many mixers as you like. I think you'll find at least one man to take you if you keep searching this vast planet.
What nerve! Do you even know who you're talking to? I'm your fiance's sister. Didn't your parents teach you any manners? Do you think that's the proper way to be addressing your soon-to-be sister-in-law?
You may feel that way, but your sister doesn't seem to think so. She's prepared to estrange herself from you and your parents. Knowing that, is there any reason for me to act respectfully towards you? You've been less than respectful the times we've spoken. As a person, you only deserve the respect you've earned, even if you're going to be my future sister-in-law.
Is she serious? I thought she was only joking. She can't be thinking about estranging her entire family, can she?
Honestly, what do you expect? Your family is by far the most disrespectful house I have ever had the displeasure of becoming acquaintanced with. If it wasn't for Michaela, I would never think to associate myself with the likes of your family. You've been relentless with your verbal abuse towards Michaela. She's finally found a home where she isn't ridiculed or forgotten. Once we've concluded our business, please never contact us again.
Michaela, what's this I hear about you and your fiance marrying next month? We've never even received an invitation to the wedding. When is the wedding, for that matter? Once you've decided on the date, you must let me know. Both your father and I will be attending. It would be odd if the parents of the bride were absent.
Who invited you? I for sure didn't. After all the stress and drama you've put me through, I don't think either of you deserves to be at my wedding. I very vividly remember you canceling our dinner when I planned to introduce you to him. I also remember your haughty, too-good-for-you attitude.
It's in the past. Can't you just forgive me? I'll never do anything like that again. I'll remember anything and everything you invite me to. Where are your parents, Michaela? Please don't say you won't invite us. I've never heard of a wedding with the parents of the bride not present. It's unheard of. What will people say?
Is that right? I, for one, can think of plenty of examples where they weren't at the wedding. For example, say the parents of the bride had passed away in an accident. That's only assuming the worst. There's more than a handful of reasons for you and father to not be at the wedding.
What are you talking about? Your father and I weren't in any kind of accident. We're alive and well.
Yes, but I already think of you as dad. You haven't been a role model and have actively put me down when I tried reaching out to you. Under these circumstances, I think I'm in my right to not invite you to my wedding.
I have been a great mother to you. How can you say that?
How can I say that? You've called me ugly straight to my face. You didn't want anything to do with my wedding before you knew who Clark really was. Besides, you have your beautiful daughter, Natalie. That should be more than enough for you.
I'm really sorry. I apologize for everything that I've ever done to make you feel like we didn't care about you. I'm sorry for only prioritizing Natalie until now, but I can change my behavior. You're my precious daughter, too. So please, can you invite us to your wedding? We would love to be there for you. Let's make up and forget about the past. Forgive and forget, right?
It doesn't matter. I've already made up my mind. I won't invite you to my wedding. I will never forgive you for what you've done. You destroyed my self-esteem. It took everything I had to move past it and move on with my life.
Michaela, we're family. If you won't invite me or your father, the least you could do is invite Natalie. Your father and I are already old. We don't mind if you never talk with us again. But Natalie is a different story. She's your sister. Don't you have any feelings for her? You need to look after her. That's your duty as her older sister.
Feelings? Oh, I have some feelings, all right, but none that I think you'd care for. She's an adult. She can take care of herself.
How can you say that? I'm sure you already know what happened to her. She was fired from her job. She's devastated. She doesn't know what to do anymore. First, her boyfriend turned out to be a complete liar, and now she's out of a job.
Ah, yes, now I remember. She was crying while packing her things when she came by the office the other day.
Ever since then, she hasn't been looking for work. She's been going out every night looking for another man. Just the other day, she said she finally found another high-class man. And wouldn't you know, that man already had a wife and kids. She told me he would divorce his wife to be with her, but even I can't support a marriage with that much baggage. Even I have a limit to what she does. Please, Michaela, she needs help. She's becoming a homewrecker. That man's wife is even trying to sue her. There's not a day we can relax.
Wow, she's getting sued? I mean, I understand the wife wouldn't be happy to have her husband stolen.
I know it's her fault, but she needs help. You can't just ignore her. You don't have to forgive your father and me. Please, for us, support your sister while she's going through this rough patch. If things keep going like this, I don't think we'll be able to help her.
I don't think so. Not this time. You won't guilt me into helping.
How can you be so cold? We're the ones who raised you.
It's easy. You and father have always babied her. You gave her everything she wanted and let her do whatever, and now look at what's happened. She's made her bed. Now she has to sleep in it. If you've doted on her until now, you can continue to do so. In fact, why don't you use all that love you've been giving me to her? I'm sure she'll appreciate it. Even if she gets sued, as her mother, you should be the one to help her.
We can't afford that. What if we lose the house? Michaela, your future husband is rich. Surely you can spare a few dollars to help her.
I've already said all I wanted to say. Come what may to Natalie, or the rest of the family for that matter, has nothing to do with me. Actually, I might just forget about all of you, in fact. I always seem to easily forget the things I don't care about.
How can you not care about your own flesh and blood?
I'm going to delete all of your information from my phone and social media. I don't think I'll ever think about any of you ever again.
Michaela, stop it this instant. You can't just cut us out of your lives like this.
I think I can. This is goodbye, Mother. I'm never going to think about any of you ever again. Good riddance. Given my sister's track record, she never learned from her mistakes. Apparently, fake Clark had been doing a lot of shady things behind his wife's back, not just the affair. Natalie is still part of an ongoing investigation, and from what I hear, it's not looking good. His wife was the type of woman that was sheltered by her family. In other words, her family has money and lawyers. So they left her lying husband basically penniless and got child support and full custody, and she's far from done still. At the hearing, Natalie's parents were bawling their eyes out, but they had no choice but to support her. Their perfect daughter now has a blemish in their eyes, but that was just more reason to get her married off and quick. They constantly tried to set her up with men, but she would turn them down because they were never good enough. She even chased one down the street shouting, "Who would want to marry a bald old man like you?" The neighbors must think she's unhinged. That led to a huge fight, and Natalie started throwing dishes and glasses all over the house. The police were called and checked in, but left after they claimed it was just a family dispute. Her bruises and cuts were so bad she couldn't cover them up with makeup. In fact, she may have permanent scars on the pretty face she relies on so heavily. Despite that, it looks like she's still going to mixers almost every night, trying to find someone that will take her. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.